Yes, sir. We are back. It is the weekend after the super fun wild card weekend in the NFL.
You were going to say Super Bowl.
Yeah, I was going to say Super Bowl, but I didn't. But it
Not
is
there yet, buddy.
Not there yet. It is the wild card weekend has wrapped up in the NFL. The boys are back together. We are going to discuss all things wild card weekend and all things coming up with divisional rounds. Obviously, breaking news with some coaches leaving. We'll mention that too. And we have a fun little game at the end of the episode. But with all this news coming out and all the scores from the weekend, let's just get into the NFL weekend recap. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the wild card weekend has ended. And we obviously have a lot of scores to talk about tonight. We're actually going to break it down to you kind of game by game as much as we can. We're going to start off with the Houston Texans. And my boy over there in Houston really wants to talk about it. So go ahead, Chris.
I do want to talk about it because I remember last year, every time I try to bring up the Texans, I have a brother over there that we don't talk to about that much. But every time I bring up the Texans, again, the Texans, yes, this season is worth it. Last season was not, but this season is. The second round pick. Wait, no, not first round.
First round
second pick.
Second pick.
C.J. Stroud is killing it. He actually threw for 3 TDs, 274 yards. An unbelievable game, both offensive and defensive. 2 back-to-back pick sixes, man. What everybody thought and their mama thought the Browns were going to come out, especially their defense, come out and stop C.J. Stroud. It just did not happen. Total domination literally throughout the whole game. I don't think there was in the first quarter, I know that it was close, 10-7, but it wasn't anything, like super astonishing.
No.
But
no, they were going to separate from that.
Yeah, and they did. They definitely did. Joe Flacco, man.
Please, Chris, just tell me. What was the final score from that Cleveland and Houston game?
45-14. 45. It was. I think the whole wild card section was high scoring for one team at least.
Oh yeah,
that's crazy to score that much on the Browns. Them
on
having
that number
such a
one
good
defense.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty impressive.
Well,
either impressive or Stroud was just on. I think it was both.
Both.
I mean both because you have to. Here we go again.
Here we go.
So here we go again. Talking about the playoffs being one and done. Right? You can have the best season you've ever had as a team or as an individual player, and when it comes to playoffs, it's who wants it more or who's hungrier or who's going to be playing the better defense or the better offense.
Yeah.
Obviously, with the wild card weekend, we saw a lot of upsets or surprising wins. This one to me wasn't as surprising. The end score definitely was because I did not expect it to be 45-14. If anything, I had Houston winning. And I think we all did except Carlos for our wild card weekend picks. Carlos picked the Browns, which understandably because of the defense, it's a safe bet to go with that. Also, you have a rookie QB, rookie defensive, a defensive linebacker. You also have a rookie head coach, I guess you can call him, with DeMeco Ryans. So a lot of factors go into that. For Houston to come out and
2 pick sixes doesn't help.
Yeah, and then for Houston to come out and score 45 points on the Cleveland Browns' number one defense is insane. C.J. Stroud having a baller game. That Houston organization gave it its all for that Houston fan base. That Houston fan base definitely needed this victory. And against the Cleveland Browns, who beat Houston up without, obviously, C.J. Stroud during the season, now having C.J. Stroud there shows what that team would have done if C.J. Stroud would have been playing in those games.
I want to say something real quick, just because everybody's giving a lot of hate to Joe Flacco, and he did throw 2 pick sixes back to back. But earlier this season, I think he came in week 14 or week 13 or something like that. But he got a phone call while he was sitting on his couch eating popcorn. Like it wasn't like he was training like a starter. So
he's back there now.
Yeah, he's back there now. But either way, he came into a team that was, a great defense already, but he came into a team that was still a little bit in shambles because they didn't know what they were going to do quarterback-wise. And he came in and gave them a chance to win it all.
Yeah.
to even get
make
to the
a name.
wild card. I think the record was 11-6,
Mhm.
6 losses, 11 wins. So he had a better record than the Texans because the Texans were 10-7. So I think, I give him props because he got the team there. Unfortunately, he didn't do anything in the wild card game, which is when it matters. But I think either way, the defense didn't show up to help at all. Obviously, he didn't help with the 2 picks, but in the sense of giving him a
But,
full
I mean,
kind of
He
spectrum
still
to try to
outthrew-
win.
He still out through CJ Stroud.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that's the thing. Joe Flacco's a veteran
Crazy.
in the game. Obviously previous Baltimore Raven, so he definitely has that under his belt.
Yeah.
With him being a veteran, obviously him being a lot older now, it's not the same wow factor that he used to have. CJ Stroud, obviously being the future of the Houston organization, is massive victory.
100%.
He did become the youngest QB to win a playoff game. So that's hats off
Nice.
to that. That's an insane stat because come to think of it,
It's
right?
real nice.
You have another QB that went ahead of him, right, in the draft,
yeah.
and the Houston
Bryce
Texans,
Young.
and Bryce Young, right, and they are struggling. They're poopy.
Did they get the? did they have the worst record? Did they have the worst record? Do you know?
Yeah,
Yeah, little poopy.
I mean, obviously, and now CJ Stroud coming off of a organization or coming into an organization that has been needing a star QB for many decades, or not decades, many years already, because they've never had a strong foundation in the QB sense. And the one time they did,
Even in the coach sense.
he went to the team that they just beat, right? The guy that we shall not name, we'll call him Lord Voldemort. Who shall not be named, and he was the future of that organization. And they had a very similar kind of play style, but I love the way C.J. Stroud controls that field.
Yeah.
The way he puts the ball in places to make an opportunity for his team, it's super impressive.
Very calm.
And I think, he's very calm, collective, and he doesn't seem to be cracking under pressure as these other guys, right? Now, here we go, right? Because
Here we go.
I can't
Here they
say that
go.
word ever again, that sentence in my life ever again without thinking of the other guy that we'll talk about in a little bit. But with the Texans beating Cleveland, obviously they're advancing, and we already know who they're facing. They're going to be facing the Baltimore Ravens, the number 1 seed. It's going to be
Tough.
an intense game, but Lamar Jackson did come out and said that CJ Stroud had a way better performance in his playoff debut than Lamar did. So they're not taking it lightly because you don't know what's going to happen.
Any given Sunday.
It's any given Sunday, but right
Saturday.
now, especially when it comes to the playoffs, it's who's hungrier, who wants it,
Yep.
who's going to earn it. You know what I mean? Because nothing is given,
Everything.
especially in the NFL.
Who do you think is more
Plan
hungry
everything.
out of the 2 teams that are going to play, Ravens or
Houston.
Texans? I think Houston is.
Houston's hungrier because they need it. They haven't tasted a season like this in so long, or in at least the last couple of years. But after the whole storm that happened with J.J. Watt, DeAndre Hopkins leaving,
Now, do you think?
Lord Voldemort's issues and stuff like that? So,
Do you
it's
think
a lot
like
of stuff that this play went through?
because at the beginning of the season, with D'Amico Ryans coming into being head coach, and we'll move on to the other games because we're kind of on time crunches. But like you got a new quarterback, you're in a rebuild stage. That's the perfect word to use, and especially for the Texans where they've been in a rebuild stage for a couple of years already, and you're going into the season and you ask people that live here in Houston that are diehard Texans, people were thinking they were going to have maybe 6 wins, 5 wins. That would have been an okay season coming from
That was a good
having
season.
1 win, 2 wins.
Yeah.
So that would have been a good season, 5, 6 wins. But now you're going into the divisional, which is, I think,
Yep.
no one thought that they were going to make it. So even right now, that's already a win. But, bro, like, if you saw the game, right?
Yeah.
That stadium was sold out, literally.
Yeah, I mean they
Sold
sold
out.
out quick too,
Mhm.
and
Of
and
course.
and Chris, if you can have the clapping soundbite ready to go here in a little bit, because it's hats off to the Houston Texans organization for making the moves that they did with getting D'Amico Ryans, with signing, obviously with getting C.J. Stroud, and with building this offense and defense from literal rookies to what they are right now. And now you're going into the divisional game against the number 1 seed Baltimore Ravens, but you hosted a playoff game.
Yep.
And like Chris was saying, everybody just expected him to win 5-6 games, and that was a winning year. And now you're deep in the playoffs now. You've already got a playoff victory.
Oh, yeah.
You have more playoff victories than the other team in Texas.
You want me to put it now?
So yeah, go ahead and put the clapping sound, because hats off, Houston. Hats off. And now, after we gave Houston its flowers, obviously we know that Houston is playing, like I said, Baltimore. We'll get into our picks for the divisional round. We're going to just recap all the wild card weekend games. We're going to travel a little bit to the colder side of the country.
Freezing.
In Kansas City, because it was freezing over there, dude. Andy Reid had boogers frozen on his mustache. It was
They
nasty.
still say
but
it's not the coldest game ever
it's
played.
not.
Yeah,
It wasn't. There was the ice bowl that happened a long time ago, but
And
it's
there's
still
that
pretty
one.
cold, though.
But picture-wise, bro, he looked crazy. His beard was frozen,
He
bro.
did. Well, you know what's gross? Before we get into this game, obviously we're talking Kansas City versus Dolphins for you guys that live under a rock.
Oh.
But you know what's nasty to me? And I was funny because I was talking to my mother-in-law about this. Like, she
Talking about
mentioned,
the
she was
beard?
like, "Oh." She was like, "Oh, did you see how cold it was in Kansas City for the game?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they kept showing the coach, and she was like, "Yeah, his mustache was frozen." And I was like, "Yeah, but the only moisture he's gonna get on that mustache is from his boogers." So they were just zooming in on his frozen boogers the whole night. And I'm like, "That's gross, dude." He's not sweating in that weather.
Hey,
From
he's
his
big bone.
mustache?
You'd be surprised at what he can sweat at.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But
No, for real.
we are going to talk Chiefs and Dolphins. Patrick Mahomes obviously
Broken
led
helmet.
through, and had the broken helmet issue against the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins struggled towards the end of the season, and
That's how
now
cold it was, huh?
you go into a cold place in Arrowhead, which that place is loud no matter what. Doesn't matter the weather out there. That fan base is
See
loud.
how loud it was.
And it was definitely a dominant win for Kansas City, given the issues with the weather and all that. Travis Kelce looked a little iffy. Not gonna lie, for a little bit, he was dropping some passes, but that again could be included with the weather issue. But the Chiefs did end up winning that game, 26-7 against the Dolphins. Tyreek Hill was kind of shut down, and they contained him. Tua, here's my thing with Tua. He's not that guy. He's not going to be an elite QB. I think he has the opportunity. First, I think he's taken too much of a beating in the last couple seasons, and I just don't see him being a face of a franchise in Miami. I could be wrong next year. He can have a great year next season, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Like, is he the face for Miami, or does Miami have to kind of? Obviously not now, because he did take them to the playoffs though. But I don't see him as an elite QB. Not even in the NFL. Like, if you like try to ask AI to give you like the future standings, like, I don't see Tua doing that. And it could be all the factors with him being hurt the last couple of seasons, the concussions that he went through last season could have rattled him a lot. But I don't know. He didn't look comfortable inside or outside of the pocket.
Yeah, I don't think he's an elite quarterback, especially now after this performance. And it was just funny because we were talking about the weather, and they were just comparing it to what the weather was right then and there in Miami, and it was like 70 degrees. and of course that's gonna factor a little bit, especially they coming from there. And he actually, I think, they're not good in that type of weather. I think they're good in either in a dome or that sunny weather, and it just factors to him. And you can tell Tua only threw for 199 and a touchdown and an interception. So that just tells you in a playoff game that's
not going to work.
That's unacceptable.
It doesn't work in a playoff game.
That's no, hell no. You're not going to win. Especially if you throw any interception in, because they say, in the playoffs, every possession counts, every snap counts.
Yeah.
It's gold. It's the diamond. If every possession, So, I agree with you. I don't think he's an elite quarterback yet. He's got to prove a lot more than just going to the playoffs and that's it. For us to, or to even anybody to say, I mean, I'm pretty sure Miami Dolphins fans say that he's an elite quarterback, but the majority of people to say that. Yeah, he needs to prove a lot more.
You
Well,
know,
to me,
you know, he kind of reminds me of Kyler Murray a lot from the Cardinals. Like they have a resemblance when they throw, except for Kyler Murray being 5'1" and
Well, they're both
right-handed and super fast. You know, but like it
think he has
just
a
they
better
remind
track
me a
record,
lot
though.
because I feel like the spotlight being on them is, I don't know if it's like I don't see them leading a team fully. Justin Fields is another one. I mean,
Yeah.
Justin Fields had a great end of the season, but struggled a lot at the beginning. Tua had a great start to the season, kind of struggled towards the end.
You know, like
and the Miami Dolphins as a team did.
I was gonna say, back to the actual weather aspect of this game. If you notice, Chiefs players weren't slipping as much as Dolphins players. Just
Yep.
coming off coming off the line, you had Tyreek, which used to play in KC. He was slipping everywhere too, and KC players knew how to hold their own in the sense of this weather.
in the weather.
That's why I said,
Yeah.
like, from our picks from last week, I knew whether it had to have an impact. What was it, like -5, -10, but felt like -20? So that's
Yeah, it was cold.
You've never seen a dolphin in Antarctica, bro. There's
I
a
think
reason for that.
I
And
think the Buffalo game was a little colder, right?
yeah, and
The
plus
Buffalo
the
game
snow.
was crazy.
But
Yeah.
I think that has to do a lot. I'm not giving an excuse for Tua, but there was a lot of drop balls, a lot of slips.
Yes, a lot. I agree with
So
that. I agree with that.
and on both sides, but I think the slips and the drop balls were mostly on the Dolphins. I wish there was like an actual statistic to show that, but yeah, I just think weather had a big aspect, but also KC's a powerhouse, man. Like you can't just knock them out.
Yeah. So here I'm not gonna say that they're not a powerhouse because they are a powerhouse team.
Yeah.
This year, obviously, they struggled a
Yeah.
lot more than we're used to. This is for Patrick Mahomes' first away game that he's going to in the playoffs. Like in the last time
Crazy.
he's been in the playoffs, this is his first time traveling.
Yeah.
They've always hosted, so it's going to be a different game changer for that divisional game. We'll talk about that here in a bit, but. To bounce off what you were saying, though, is I agree. I think that the Chiefs are dominant when it comes to playoffs.
Yes.
I think the playoff boost that the Chiefs Kingdom, Chiefs players get is massive. And I think it's because they've tasted victory so much that they're just like, we want it again. It's like a drug is what it is. It's just like a high.
It's the best high you can get is to win.
So it's going to be interesting to see the moves that the Dolphins do. Obviously, Tyreek's going to stay there, but they're going to have to do some adjustments to assist Tyreek because it can't be just Tyreek.
Yeah.
Jalen Waddle, is a great receiver too. They still have
He's
Jalen
got
Ramsey.
weapons.
Yeah,
He's
they
got
have Jalen
weapons.
Ramsey on defense, and he's a great, like CB. So like you don't know what's going to happen. I
Raheem
just think
Mostert.
that. Yeah, Mostert's a hell of a running back, dude.
Fuck yeah. He's a great.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see him. But
back.
I think that the Dolphins, are gonna they have some improvements, as do a lot of the other teams that are still in the playoffs. But it was a great battle for them to get to where they got. Obviously going to such a hostile environment, weather-wise, playing against a very dominant team in the playoffs. Those are all factors that take off. So Dolphins, you guys can join the next game that we're going to talk to in Cancun, which is the Green Bay Packers against America's team, the Dallas Cowboys. And here we go, because we are going nowhere.
There you go.
I know you guys have already heard Stephen A. Smith's rant, Shannon Sharp's, all that, but you're going to hear our little take on it. Because
His laugh.
Green Bay came in as the number 7 seed against the number 2 seed Dallas Cowboys to Dallas. Green Bay has not lost a playoff game in Dallas
And
ever.
now this is without Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Jordan Love looked great, by the way. He looked amazing on and it's another rookie thing, bro. Like finally under center, controlling the whole season. It's his rookie year, quote unquote, because it's a second season. But yeah, him under center all season, took them 9-8. Our buddy Domo, who's a Packer fan, he had stated that the Packers were going to go 9-8, but miss the playoffs. Well, they went 9-8, made the playoffs.
Did he really guess
and beat
the
number
record
2
right?
seed? Yeah, you got
Dude,
it
that's
right.
crazy.
They squeezed in though. They were like crawling.
Oh yeah,
and
there were some
scratching
things that
and
needed to work, but but
it
he had
worked.
said that they were going to miss the
It
playoffs.
worked.
So he texted me the other day, and he was like, "I called 9-8 missing playoffs. They went 9-8, made the playoffs, and
Dude, that's crazy.
then you go and play Dallas in Dallas, who Dallas was having a a great season. I'm not going to say good.
coming in.
They were having
coming in
they
hot.
were having a
Yeah,
great
too.
season.
Mhm.
They were hot. You know, they beat Philly. They had that chip off their shoulder. Obviously, they couldn't beat San Fran, but them beating Philly the way they did, Micah Parsons being hot this year, Dak only throwing 9 interceptions.
Best defense in the whole
everything
league.
was going in the right direction for Dallas, and this was the year for them to do it. Dak was not
it every
like
year.
Dak was not like frantic all season. He wasn't panicking. He was like very comfortable in the pocket, very comfortable, outside runs. He was controlling that team very well. And then playoffs, man, it's just it's like you put the word playoff and you show it to a cowboy, they run away or something. Like it's
scrum.
just they conflict, and I don't know. The Houston Texans have more playoff victories since the inaugural season in 2002 than the Dallas Cowboys have had since 2002, with 5 against 4. So to me, America's team, they're not even Texas's team. It's the Houston Texans. And it sucks because last week and first of all, appreciate all the likes and comments on our socials and stuff.
Thanks,
but
bro.
you guys really enjoyed the comments that we had said about the Dallas Cowboys, and this is where they usually say it's our year and then it falls off. Well, we called it because it did, and it sucks because like I have friends that are Cowboys fans, obviously living in Dallas, but I have a lot of people that I know that I follow on like online and stuff that are big Cowboy fans, and they were like, I'm not surprised, but Dak needs to go. Mike McCarthy needs to go. Like, they're calling for people's heads now. And I don't blame them, because if there was going to be a year for the Dallas Cowboys to at least make it to the conference championship, it was this year. It was this year right now, because you had every weapon going. CeeDee Lamb was having a good year. Like, it was perfect. It was a perfect concoction of things to happen, and you were playing the number 7 seed Green Bay Packers without Aaron Rodgers and without any really receiving core, and their defense is iffy. You could have easily ran through that defense. But in the playoffs, Mike McCarthy used to coach the Packers, right? So Mike McCarthy coaching the Dallas Cowboys now, like he just got himself fired from the Packers, and now he's getting himself fired in the Cowboys. But
I think it's something with Dak Prescott too, right? Like he
threw 2 picks.
And I was like, okay, here we go. Like, he is known to at least throw 2 picks. Like, all right, here we go.
So
and perfect, and a pick 6 at that, and such a easy pick 6. Like, he could have crawled in. It was just
so
the game was over then. The game was, it was so funny. I'm sorry. One more thing. I just read that Kyle Shanahan. They asked him how he prepared for the Packers, and he's like, I started preparing after halftime. As soon as I saw the last touchdown, I started preparing. I knew what team was, and I was like, whoa.
So here's the thing. I went to Joel's house, which is a big supporter of our podcast. I went to his house. He's a Packer fan, and we had a buddy who's a Cowboy fan, and he was there. And I was like, "You're nervous?" I asked my buddy, the Cowboy fan, and he was like, "Nah, not really." And I was like, I don't know, man. Like, you don't know what kind of Green Bay Packers going to show up, and you don't know what kind of Dak you're going to get here today.
And
so right before the game started, I was like, Dakota Prescott is going to throw 2 picks. I'm like, I think he's going to throw 2 picks. And
well,
like
hold
10
up.
minutes
Are
later,
you
he
giving
threw
like
the
one
first
of those LeBron lies where he's like, oh, I knew he was going to do that? Or are you serious? Like, you actually said this?
So you can ask
Okay.
Joel and them. I was like, I'm calling 2 picks. I was like, I think that he's going to crack under this pressure. And he did. And I'm not saying like I told you so. And I really wanted Dak to kind of prove me wrong. Like, I wanted a close game. This last final score of 48-32 is fake. They were down 48-16 with 6 minutes left in the game.
You're right.
Like, this was after they pulled the starters. So the 32 is fake. And even Cowboys fans are telling you that. Even Cowboy fans are saying, Yeah, we didn't really score those 32 on their starters. Like this was their like
Nah.
second team coming in, like because everybody was like, well, we got to rest up for playing San Fran next week. You know, like we got to rest up our starters. Jordan Love's got to take a rest. So it's astonishing to me that even Cowboy fans were like, every year we go through this, because every NFL team, right? Unless your team wins a Super Bowl, every fan base deals with the same thing. We thought it was our year, but we couldn't get it. We couldn't pull the trigger. We couldn't win. La 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 la. But the Dallas Cowboy fan base is the one that hurts the most for them, because every year they are so passionate about, this is our year. This is definitely our year. This is definitely our year. And every year Dak Prescott is like, actually, it's not.
I know that we're blaming. I don't. He threw 2 picks, so you gotta hats off to that, Dak. But I never like blaming coaches, managers, whatever you want to call it. But man, Mike McCarthy, I know his name is Mike and my brother's name is Mike, but geez, man, that guy is terrible at play calls. Like, there's some of the worst calls ever I've seen in a playoff game. Like stupid calls, and I don't know why they would even like attempt that. So I think it's time, and I saw this on ESPN as well, where a lot of people aren't even blaming Dak for the terrible performance. Obviously, he has the 2 picks. You got to give it to him, but he did throw for 403 yards. So he was.
Those are fake too.
Yeah, but it's still 403 yards. So yeah, you got to say something.
He threw that last 100 yards, because when they was down 42-16, he only had about like not even 200 yards. So those are fake to me as well. When Mike was saying that 32 is fake, I was like, yeah, that 403 looks fake to me too.
What would have happened though? Like, so you were saying fake scores and fake yardage. If they would have came back, that would have been a Packers decision of, dang, we definitely, we definitely messed up.
I mean, that would have been all LaFleur's fault for pulling his team. But
either way, I
think
there's so much on defense.
I think once they scored the 32
on defense side as well. Like, I think the Cowboys didn't show up. Like Carlos said earlier when we started talking, the Cowboys have a great defense, especially this year. So you would think that they would show up, and they got scored 27 points at the half, and the Cowboys only had 7 points. So it's 27-7 going into the half. That's kind of unacceptable to try to come back in a playoff game. I think that's very difficult.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, this is the way I look at it is, for one, Green Bay has always had Dallas's number, and I thought this year was going to be different because Green Bay isn't coming in with Aaron Rodgers with like an elite QB. They're coming in with Jordan Love, who's the second season, and then you had the Dallas Cowboys with a great defense this year. Micah Parsons on the corner, Stephon Gilmore in the back. Mm-hmm. So I mean, you had all the weapons you needed. CeeDee Lamb having a comfortable season, Dak having a great season for himself, and then it's like I was saying, like the Packers just scare the Cowboys, or the Cowboys just don't know what to do in the playoffs. And here's the thing: Mike McCarthy took control of calling plays. Like, they got rid of people. Same thing with Bill O'Brien when Bill O'Brien did the same thing with the Texans.
Thank you.
Took control of doing play calls all the way through him only. And then for the play calls that were being called, there were so many opportunities where I was like, this setup doesn't look good. Like, you're about to get burned on the corner, or you're about to get intercepted, and then it would be an interception or tackle for loss or whatever. So it's unfortunate because, like, I really was kind of hoping for a Dallas 49er, conference game. That would have been great to see. But obviously now we have our structure set up. So the Dallas Cowboys are obviously eliminated. Got eliminated in the first round. I thought for sure if they were going to get eliminated early, it would have been in the second round, not in the first round, especially hosting the game at home. So, yeah, crazy. I don't know. Crazy to see final score 48-32. Green Bay leading that pack, obviously. So, go Pack, go. And here we go to Cancun. So, Dak really showed his shoulder. He showed his worth right there. He's not going to get that signing he wanted. I think Jerry Jones is going to fire everybody. That's how crazy Jerry Jones is. But we're going to move on to Sunday's last game of Sunday night, which was the LA Rams traveling to the Detroit Lions. First playoff game in forever, hosting a playoff game in forever. And then you had your Jared Goff versus Matthew Stafford matchup. Carlos, what do you want to take your take on this one? Because I know you were excited about this one last week. So what were your takes on it?
Yeah, I wanted to say a little bit more on the Dallas one, but it's all good.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, we're good. We hopped into this one already. Yeah, this was actually a closer game than these other blowouts.
Facts.
To be honest, finally a good game. And great for the Detroit Lion fans that hosted their first playoff game since 1991. So major props to them. But yeah, it was a lot better entertainment. I mean, they honestly, I think they were both physical game. I mean, honestly, I thought Matthew Stafford was out. When I saw his eyes roll back when his head hit the floor, I was like, NFL New York's got to be watching this as well. And I really thought they were gonna call and be like, "Yo, he's got to be out." But they didn't. I mean, I get. I mean, any quarterback would say, "I'm good. Put me back in, coach. Put me back in." Of course, they'd say that, but he came out that tent. Nobody said anything. He went back in and nearly pulled it off. But the Lions defense came through at the end.
Hey, that's not a first for Matthew Stafford too, because when he was with the Lions, didn't he break his shoulder, came back through a TD, and then went and left,
and then went home? Yeah,
jeez.
Yeah, I really thought they were going to call that one back. Cause,
okay, so do you think player safety wise, you think they should have?
Oh, sorry,
right there. Like,
well, just like Tua, I thought we had learned this lesson from Tua.
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking.
But that's what I was thinking. I was like, well, I thought we learned our lesson from Tua, but I guess not. I mean, I know it's a playoff game, but okay. I mean, his life is still more important than
just the
game.
You think Stafford retires?
No,
he's not retiring. No,
you don't think so?
Not after this performance.
Oh, you think he's going to want to come back?
And then knowing that he's got a good team that can. I mean, they could have gone to the division. I mean, easily 1 point. So that's what I was gonna say about the Dallas game. Like, I think their loss would have been less hurt. I mean, it still would have hurt for them, for Dallas Cowboys, but it would have been less hurt if they would have lost by like 3. But that demolishing was
the way they got beat was worse for them.
Yeah, the way they got beat. Yeah, as a playoff game. You expect games like the Detroit Lions and the Rams.
Yeah.
That's a respectfully good loss.
I like that reference right there.
I held my head up on that loss. We gave it our all. We fought to the end.
Yeah.
Like, it came down to the last play. I can go in the locker room, not like the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah. You can go kind of not comfortable, I guess, but you can go with your head a little higher
it's never
you gave it
comfortable.
everything.
Yeah. But at least you left it out on the field.
Yeah.
But the Dallas Cowboys, they left it in the locker room. I mean, honestly, they
no one roasts the Cowboys better than
Johnson.
Carlos.
Well, I mean,
they even listened to Jimmy Johnson during the halftime.
Jimmy Johnson hyped me up, bro. I was like, I need to find a helmet.
I need to find
a ride down there.
Yeah, he got down on 3. He was like,
"Yeah, dude,
coach, put me in."
I was like, it takes me an hour to get to that stadium. Probably, I can drive right now, bro, and I'll sign me in. Let me report to the referee, bro. Put me in.
Mikey would break his ankle in the parking lot.
He would slip into the field.
Hey, but I'd get that signing contract.
That's true.
That 1-day contract. But yeah, I mean. Obviously, since you just mentioned the Cowboys again, I mean, I feel like they didn't show up, they didn't show out at all. That's a different game.
Just comparing
because this game right here, the Lions and Rams, obviously 24-23, Lions squeezing out the victory, right to the end.
Field goal, crazy.
Yeah, Jared Goff,
no interception.
That's what I was about to mention. Neither QB had an interception. Puka Nacua had 9 receptions, 181 yards with 1 TD on them.
He's a future star, man.
So it's going to be him and CJ Stroud kind of battling for that offensive rookie of the year. But I think with CJ Stroud advancing to the divisional game, I think CJ Stroud. Yeah, and as a QB, I think C.J. Stroud takes that leap right there and takes that little jump. But I mean, hats off to the Rams; they had a good season for them, 10-7. Yep. Went to Detroit
after starting bad.
Yeah, after I was like counting them out, I was like, "There's no way they make the playoffs again."
Well, can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a lot of debate on this. So we've had 2 freezing cold games this weekend, right? We had KC and we had the Bills. The Bills being on Monday, but freezing. All the other games were played indoors. The Lions game is indoors. Weather was fine. Weather was not a problem. You could not blame the weather on any of these wins. There's a debate that every team should have an indoor or like a retractable roof type of stadium. What do you think? Because
No.
I know the perfect weather thing, or like this is football weather stuff, but players get injured when they slip. I'm not saying get like a Raiders type of thing, because the Raiders have the pull out field so it can get its sun and water, which is completely dope, I think. But you don't have to cancel games if you have a roof, because
True.
you know the player safety is a lot better because they're not slipping on mud like the Bears. The Bears stadium is terrible because of the moisture in the grass. It's always a muddy game. So I understand both debates, but the Lions game kind of proved that, hey, the roof works, because bro, the Lions is freezing in Detroit, literally.
Yeah, but here's my defense to having whatever your city can afford, right? Obviously, but
No, they're
because it's like
They all can
billions.
afford it.
Yeah, it's like billions of dollars. Yeah, but you're not gonna afford it for Oakland. Like Oakland's not gonna invest that money. You know what I'm saying? Like
That's why they went to Vegas.
So I don't know. I think that playing into an open stadium is football. Like you know, like when we grew up playing on the concrete, like you weren't worried about slipping on the turf.
Yeah, but you're not.
You
you,
know,
weren't
but-
paying these guys millions of dollars to play.
Yeah,
if
I
they're
mean,
out a
I
game,
think-
it's money involved.
I think if the organization is committed enough to these players that they're coughing up all this money, then put a roof on it. But if not, I mean, think about Pat Mahomes. He's got how much money on him right now, and they play in that horrible weather.
yeah.
You're
right.
I prefer the outdoor feel of it personally, and I also do prefer if you have a covered system, then use it. But think about the Texans one, right? The Texans, they get maybe 2 to 3 games a year uncovered, like because the weather in Houston is so wishy-washy. Like you don't know what it could be sunny, but it's going to be 1,000 degrees, so you don't want to open the roof on that. It has to be perfect conditions. So I think it just makes it difficult because you're like, man, I wish the roof was open when you're inside, but then you're like, if the roof is open, then you're like, no, I wish it was closed because it's too hot, you know?
That's
the sun
NFL
glare.
though.
Yeah, it's just NFL.
I actually like the mix. That's the NFL. I actually like the mix. You gotta just
Bite the bullet on it.
You know, no, not
If you're
bite
traveling,
the bullet. You gotta know how to play in those conditions as well. That makes you a great
That's
team.
why. That's why I brought up the
you
Bears.
gotta know how to play in the rain, in the mud, and
The reason-
sunny. And
The reason I brought up
snow,
the Bears stadium is because the moisture in that grass is terrible. So the kickers have to practice in a muddy condition whenever they're at their home field, and they have like a special section for, like, hey, just in case we're gonna kick from here because the moisture in that grass, with the way they plant their foot, stuff like that. So
Well, isn't like
accommodate
Soldier
themselves.
Field like the oldest stadium in the NFL or something like that? I think that
is
place
it the
beat
oldest?
up.
At that Lambeau it's
Yeah,
up there
it's
too.
one of those two. No, I think it's Soldier and then Lambeau. Whatever.
Yeah.
Either way, I mean, you're not gonna ever play a Bears in playoffs game. They're never gonna have home field advantage. So you'll be all right.
We'll be all
Yeah,
right.
we hardly
But
see-
you don't gotta worry
We
about
hardly
that.
see Chicago
Yeah,
Bears
yeah,
playoff
yeah.
games.
So, but I agree though. I mean, I feel like what Carlos was
Just a
saying
mix.
is you have to kind of prepare for both,
Yeah.
because you don't know who you're going to play and
It's a
you
good
don't
mix,
know what
yeah.
you're going to play. I mean, think about it this way: Miami had control of home field advantage, and then
They
they,
doofed it.
just kind of at the end. So then they had to travel to the worst condition possible.
Yeah.
So whose fault is it really?
Which-
type of thing, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's up
If
to
you don't want to go play in some cold,
Have a good
well,
season.
you better play
Number
good
one
during the
seed,
season
baby.
and
Yeah.
stay your ass home.
No,
So,
I just wanted to
um,
bring it up because I have seen the debate, especially like at my, where I work and stuff. This is a conversation that's happening, with all the guys there. So I just wanted to kind of bring it up to see what y'all thought. But I'm
Yeah.
on the same boat. A mix of both is perfect.
Yeah, I think
yeah.
it works for everybody or for different teams. Obviously, with that being said, you had the horrible weather that was in Buffalo, which was our Monday night or was pushed to Monday
Well,
game.
it was really our Saturday night.
Yeah,
right?
it was
was
our
pushed to our Monday
It was our
night.
Sunday mid game and then it
Was
was
it?
pushed to Monday or something
Oh,
like
I
that.
can't remember.
I can't remember the exact order because
Originally
they were about
scheduled
to
on the
swap it to
14th.
Tuesday.
So the 14th was what, Sunday? Yeah. So it was originally
Yeah.
on the Sunday.
On Sunday, right?
Yeah.
So they had to push it to Monday at 4:30 p.m. or 4:30 Central
That's cool.
Standard Time.
Doubleheader on a Monday.
Yeah, so every day had a doubleheader, which was cool, right?
Yep.
But you had Steelers traveling to Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills, for some reason, stepped up in the right direction at the
business.
right time.
some
They
reason.
took care of business. Yeah, because, I mean, everybody was counting them out, too, with Josh Allen being, 50-50 sometimes, and you never know what Josh Allen you're going to
But
get.
they came in hot too, though. They came in pretty.
But exactly,
playing pretty good.
they came in striding that like that good streak that they were getting,
Yeah, he's gonna play good at the right time.
But also Pittsburgh. Hats off to Pittsburgh. I mean, Mike Tomlin, another winning season.
Did you
with
see him
no
walk
winning
off the
playoff
interview?
game? Yeah, when they asked him,
Yeah.
but he did
He's
say
coming
though
back.
that he is coming back to coach again. I don't think he's done
Yeah.
in Pittsburgh. Yeah, he's a good coach. I don't mind
they
seeing
just
him
need
there.
a quarterback, right?
Yeah, I mean, because Mason Rudolph is not that guy.
Well, they went.
He's got a weird name, too.
They went from Pickett to Rudolph to. They did one more. They did one more guy.
Yeah, there was another guy in the middle of the season too.
Anyway,
But
they
I
ended
mean,
up with Rudolph.
Yeah, they ended up
The
with
red-nosed
Rudolph,
reindeer.
the red nose,
The red nose.
and then, but I mean, look, you're playing Buffalo. Everybody knows Buffalo. Well, Bills Mafia, you guys are crazy. I mean, all respect, right? You guys are very dedicated to your team. There was people like snow plowing for $20 an hour,
Free
like
food.
shirtless. And I get that because like you want to see the game and you're that devoted to your team. But dude, don't die of hypothermia or something.
Did you see
just
the
pneumonia.
guy sliding down the?
Sliding down.
Yeah, it was shirtless.
Yeah. I mean, so we all knew kind of going into this one that, I mean, if there was going to be an upset, it was probably this game with Pittsburgh beating Buffalo. But once I saw Mason Rudolph start throwing the ball, I was like, yeah, this isn't it. This isn't going to happen.
Yeah, it's not your time.
I was like, this is not going to happen.
Your time.
And I mean, I get like Pittsburgh fans, you guys are holding the 6 rings. Yes, you guys were a great team for a long time. You guys had Big Ben, Jerome Bettis.
Yes, in
you
the
guys were,
70s.
Troy Polamalu. You guys have had organization winning teams. But I mean, you're playing Buffalo Bills with Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. Like it was going to be a lot harder for you guys to kind of overcome that, especially playing them at home. Josh Allen threw 3 TDs, no interceptions. Mason Rudolph threw 2 TDs with 1 interception. Still pretty good, but Josh Allen was breaking these boys off again with the run, which we always mention. Josh Allen running is scary
Killed
because he runs like he's a tight end. Like he runs at the defender.
He's so big.
Yeah, and he's big.
That's what
And
she said.
He runs at the defender instead of like steering away from them. He's like, "Oh, you're gonna try to tackle me? Well, here I come!" And then he's like, "Here we go!" And then he goes and
But it
tries
works.
to truck
It
them.
works
you
for
know?
There
him.
they go.
But it works for him. And I always worry about his injuries, but he's always pretty good at it. So, but he ran for 74 yards with 1 rushing touchdown. I don't know if you guys saw that big rushing touchdown he had, dude. That was
Oh, yeah.
crazy.
Dude, his longest
It
run
was
was
crazy,
52
but-
yards,
And
bro.
wrap
That's
up.
crazy.
Yeah.
Steelers couldn't tackle either.
Yeah, but is it the weather? Like does that take
No,
into
they just
account?
couldn't tackle.
Or
They just
that too? Yeah.
They
I
couldn't
mean,
tackle,
Dude, I
bro.
saw
honestly, this weekend, dude, I saw so many missed
Dude,
tackles from
did
a
you
lot
see
of
Ray
different
Oh
Lewis?
teams.
yeah, that's the other
Chime
game we're
into
going
there?
to talk about, the Eagles game. Oh my
Ray
God.
Lewis on the Peyton Manning and Eli Manning podcast that they have. I forget what game they were watching, but he chimed in. He was like, "Man, these guys like it's like they don't know how to hit. Like everybody's so selfish. Instead of thinking, hey, like if I take out his leg, someone can else take his torso out. No, like you're going for the full tackle. And rather in the time
Yeah.
of Ray Lewis, everybody was kind of sharing those tackles. I know Ray Lewis is a monster, but if you saw like the gameplay, they played as a team even whenever it was tackling. So at the end of the day,
Yeah.
like the game they were watching was terrible. Like the missed tackle, and it happened all weekend. All weekend, missed tackles left and right, and it's just,
Wrap
it's
up.
just a
You gotta know
selfish
how to
game,
wrap
bro.
up.
Yeah, I mean, which
guys wrap
which
up
we-
too high. You got to wrap
Well,
up.
no,
low.
it wasn't even
Yeah.
like the broken tackles. It was missed tackles where they were completely off, like timing wise.
yeah,
So it's just
I
bad
see
all
that, too.
around.
I see that too, and it goes into
Preparing.
I don't know, like preparing correctly for, XYZ player.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what he's gonna do. I mean, I did see a lot of broken tackles too, like where he juked them out of there and he spun out. I mean, it was just a crazy wild card weekend. But yeah, the Bills moved on. Obviously, Steelers, you guys are joining Dallas on that train to Cancun, and then you had your final game on Monday night, which was honestly to me was not surprising that the Bucs won because
I think we all had the Bucs, right?
Took care of business. They took care of business against the Eagles, which were your favorite to win for a very long time this year.
Mm-hmm.
They were Super Bowl re-contenders. They were going to win it this year, win it all. La 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 la. Tush push was helping them all season.
Tush push didn't work this game.
Yeah.
Tush push did not work.
As soon as we, I'm not going to say wait. As soon as the 49ers beat them, they went on a losing streak to end the season, and everybody kind of saw the playbook and saw the ways of style, and everybody adjusted correctly. The Bucs are 9-8, played at home, and beat the brakes off of them 32-9.
No, it was a one-sided game.
And it's crazy that the Bucs is coming off playing the Panthers when they just scored 9 points on the Panthers, and then it's scoring.
Hey, Baker, man,
like 30-something.
Hats off to Baker Mayfield, though, man.
Yeah, I really enjoyed watching him play on Monday night. Honestly, the whole game, I was like, dude, this is Baker from OU. From Oklahoma. Like this is Baker Mayfield right here. This is the one that everybody's used to watching and how good he was. And obviously, he went through a bunch of teams with the Cleveland Browns, the Panthers, and then you land at the Bucs again.
The Rams.
He went through the Rams too, yeah. And then you land with the Bucs after Tom Brady. And you're like, man, what am I going to do? And then you compete for the QB spot. You take your team now to the divisional round.
Mm-hmm.
You have such an opportunity right now to surprise again and beat the Lions.
And shut up the haters.
And really shut up the haters. And everybody that I know kind of had the Bucs winning because of how Philly fell apart towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
Like they were not in sync at all towards the end, and they were kind of misfiring, and they just Jalen Hurts just didn't look like Jalen Hurts. And then you had a lot of internal conflicts.
Their defense
obviously.
too.
Yeah, like and
terrible.
Then it was like the team itself wasn't happy to be together towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
And they were just struggling, and you have AJ Brown kind of. It was just.
I feel like the locker room just wasn't there.
Him, especially AJ Brown. I saw him early in a couple of the late games. Like he was just like shaking his head. He looked like he wanted to go off on Hurts, but on he didn't. Hurts. And honestly, I think he he must. I don't know how hurt he was, but I almost want to feel like he just wanted to sit this shit out. We're done anyways. Like for what?
Yeah,
and for sure giving Mayfield props. 337, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah. I mean, he had a great wild card weekend, and he kind of. I'm rooting for him to kind of see where he does, man. Like, and for Tampa, but obviously you're going to play now Detroit, which is a different game. But I mean, you just beat the Super Bowl contender from last year and the favorite Super Bowl winner this year. And you beat him with his team. Like, you beat Jalen Hurts, and he had A.J. Brown. Like, you beat them with starters.
Yeah, they're strong.
You didn't beat the second team. Like, they were a strong team, and you beat them at home. And it's great to see Tampa winning again for them, because they have such a good team too. They have they have a good tight end. They have Mike Evans, obviously Chris Godwin. Killer, But Baker Mayfield, man, I think he was that missing key right there for them. I think that this is going to be a good run for him in Tampa, and I think he'll get his money's worth in Tampa.
I said it last season whenever he went to the Rams for a bit. Was it? Yeah, last season. I think Baker Mayfield has just had a bad experience in the NFL with coaches. Always an incomplete offense with receivers not being there or selfish players. And now he's gone into an organization that I think just wants to win. And I think that's the most important part of it. It's just a hungry team. So I think Baker Mayfield just went into the right organization at the right time. Whenever they're needing a QB, they're needing someone that wants to win it all. And that to me is Baker Mayfield, just because of track history, meaning like he just hasn't had a fair share with any team, I think. So that's just my opinion. I said it last season too. Because remember he had that one great game with the Rams where he killed it, and everybody called him out, and even this season. But he fought for that QB spot, came up, won. Like Carlos said, he had, or I don't know who said, he had 337 yards, bro, against the Eagles,
touchdowns.
bro. Against the Eagles, that's not a small feat. That's huge. The push tush or whatever the heck it's called did not work for the Eagles. They tried to go for a 2-point conversion. Pushed through
that touchback.
And Baker Mayfield, not Baker, the Bucks defense completely stopped that, and it was beautiful to see because I honestly hate that play, but if it works, it works. It just didn't work yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, at this
I heard
point,
Tom Brady's his backup now.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you got to give your props out to Tampa for closing it out. Obviously, a dominant performance at home. Obviously, now you're traveling to Detroit. Which brings us to our divisional round games. We're going to just make our predictions real quick because it looks like we're kind of time constrained now.
One more thing. Can we get the claps? The claps?
Yeah.
For our boy, Jason Kelsey.
Oh,
retiring.
Yes.
That was his last game.
Oh, yeah.
Much props to you.
Yeah.
Thanks for all the years, man.
Yeah, seriously, dedicated to the Philly organization. So props to Jason Kelsey. He announced his retirement yesterday or today, one of these days.
Those tears yesterday pretty much.
They were real.
They talked for themselves.
Those tears said retirement. That's it. I'm done.
Yeah. He wanted to go out on top, and even after last season, going to the Super Bowl and losing in the Super Bowl, kind of heartbreaking to his brother, but. He had a great career, still Super Bowl champion, if I'm not mistaken, and then 7-time Pro Bowler. So he's still great. One
of the best centers ever. I think.
Center, yeah. So he's going to be known forever. And check out his podcast, New Heights. So
he's got time for that now.
That's a free plug.
Yeah. One day we'll be.
You're not going to get any more, Jason. Yeah.
No.
But let's get into our divisional games. We're going to make our picks. Last week, just so everybody knows, our picks kind of mine, I only got 3 correct. Carlos had 4 correct, and Chris had 4 correct. So you guys tied last weekend.
I thought I completely
at the wild
lost.
card. No, because you lost. You picked the Steelers and Dallas, obviously, and Carlos picked Dallas, and he picked the Browns. The Browns. You picked
the
Browns.
The Browns. Yeah.
To win on that one. So we're gonna go into our picks for this week, and then we have a little game at the end if we still have enough time. And so I'll go first with my picks just to kind of rush through these. For Saturday's games, you have Houston, Texas traveling to Baltimore's number 1 seed. I am gonna go with the surprise factor, and I'm gonna pick Houston to win that one. And then at Saturday night, 7:15 Central Standard Time, you have Green Bay traveling to San Fran, but I have San Fran winning that one, not just because I'm a Niner fan. I just think that the 49ers are a well-lit team right now, and they're better off. And then Sundays, rested, thank you. And Sundays, you have the Bucks against the Lions. I got Detroit winning that one. I think they're running hot right now. Baker Mayfield's story ends on Sunday, maybe. I don't know. And then you have the Chiefs for Sunday night's game, traveling to Buffalo. I think Buffalo wins that, and I think Josh Allen finally gets that victory over Kansas City.
You think the curse is over, bro, for the Bills?
I don't know. Hopefully, we'll see.
We will see.
They're not gonna win the Super Bowl if you're asking me, but I think that they'll finally beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Yeah, I think they'll beat the Chiefs.
Yeah, let's get one game at a time, Chris. Relax.
One game at a time.
Yeah. One game at a time.
So my surprise game for that one is going to be Houston overcoming Baltimore. I think C.J. Stroud's going to shine, but we'll see. Chris, Carlos, next.
I'll take it off. Let's start with the Houston-Baltimore as well. Yeah, I'm going to go with Baltimore on that one. They're coming in well-rested, I think. Baltimore's defense is still going to come through and harass a little bit on C.J. Stroud. Yeah. And I think his rookie campaign will probably be a great campaign because rookie year coming and you go to divisional, that's top for me. So I think their season's going to be great even if they lose, still a great season. I'm going to go with the Green Bay, San Francisco. Of course, I'm going to go with the Niners. Also, defense, I think it's going to be way better than the Dallas defense. So, Niners all the way on that one. Tampa Bay, Detroit, going with Detroit on this one. Like Mike said, I think Baker Mayfield's train stops there. Just because Detroit, I think they're gonna come out more hungry. And if you guys saw this last game, that fan base was going bananas. So I think they're gonna come through again too. The Buffalo KC game, yeah, I'm going with Buffalo as well. I think it's Buffalo's time to beat the KC this year, just because, not just because of this, but it helps them to be at home as well.
Okay.
Yep.
So
I agree.
For me, I think I'm gonna take some, different picks than you guys. I'm gonna go Texans over Ravens. I understand the defense aspect of the Ravens, but I think they're coming in hot, and the Ravens had that bye week. So I'm a firm believer the bye week sometimes comes and bites you. So I'm going Texans. I know we didn't say scores, but I think it is going to be a very close game, like 30 to 27 or something like that, like something minimal. Niners and Packers, I'm going to go Niners. Home field advantage. It's pretty much been 3 weeks of non-playing because that last week starters didn't even start. So I'm going to assume, I know my bye week thing just contradicted itself. I know, I saw your eyes.
Absolutely. That's what I was looking at.
But
we got healthy.
Yeah, it's healthy CMC. Healthy Brock, and I think it's going to be a close game, but
healthy Eric Armstead.
I still think it's going to be close, though. I will say that. It's going to be a close game. I think Jordan Love is going to come and ball out and show a little bit of the weakness of the Niners defense, but we'll see. Bucks and Lions, I'm going to go Bucks. I'm a believe in Baker Mayfield. And I think it's at Lions, right? Yeah, so I'm still going to go Bucks. Let that story continue on. And Chiefs and Bills, we're going to have the same picks. I'm going to go Bills on that one. Same reasons y'all said. I think it's just time for the Bills to finally beat the Chiefs in the playoffs. And it'll be a good story. So I'll go Bills for that one.
Yep.
Oh, I'm the only one that picked Baltimore, huh?
Yeah.
No, I think Misa picked Baltimore.
No, I picked Houston.
Oh, you did?
No, he picked Houston.
Yeah. So, I'm kind of rooting for Houston on that one, not just because I used to live there for a while. I kind of want to see that underdog story of, didn't even think that they were going to make it this far.
Yeah.
They did,
Facts.
If we do, we still got a little bit of time. So let's go jump in. We're going to jump into our game, and then we'll be wrapping up our episode. Thanks for joining us today and for liking and sharing all of our content. Today's episode is a little bit of trivia for the two boys that have the pleasure of sitting here with. Chris and Carlos. The way we're going to do this is because some of them is name the 3 teams that are yada, yada, yada. So if you think you have the answer, you raise your hand and I'll pick you. And then you say your answer.
Is it NFL strictly? Just asking.
It's all NFL. Yeah. It's all NFL.
Raise your hand or say your name.
Or either way. Whatever you think is going to be faster.
That's what I'm saying. We both have to agree.
Okay.
I say name. You guys say your name. Like, I'm going to say Carlos. And you pick me.
Okay. I'm cool with that. Chris, you cool with that?
Sure.
You gotta say Chris.
I thought I was supposed to say Carlos.
So
helps me out.
So I have here. I have 5 questions, but I did pick a 6th question in case you guys want to throw in the 6th one in there. Each game or each question is going to be worth 5 points, and then the winner gets the pride of winning. That's what you get. All right. So. First question. You guys ready?
Yeah.
And we're going to have like 30 seconds to answer this. So as soon as you say your name, you better have it and say your name. All right, and say.
All right.
Ready? So 3, 2, 1. The game begins now. All right. Out of the remaining teams in the playoffs, name the 3 teams that have never won a Super Bowl.
Texans. Oh, Chris. Texans. Oh, I forgot the other teams. No. Texans. Bills. Nope.
Next.
No.
Carlos?
Carlos.
That one's easy.
Texans, Bills, Detroit.
Okay. That's it. That's it. That was just out of the remaining teams in the playoffs.
Oh, okay.
Chris, you had it. You were on the right path. You just took
and I had the other one on the tip of my tongue. It's just my bad.
Yeah. All right, so Carlos got he's got 5 points right now.
Brain fart.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, that was just a under pressure Dak Prescott.
Yeah,
brain
literally.
fart.
That was
I
a,
think
here we
mine's over
go.
when he's-
Yeah. Okay, so there are a total of 13 teams, but you can I'm only requesting 5. All right. Are you guys ready for this? As soon as I call you, you make sure you can run through them. I'll give you guys a grace period of 10 seconds to answer. So name 5 teams. There's a total of 13 in the NFL, but name 5 teams with an animal as their name.
Animal?
Carlos.
Carlos. Yeah, with an
Oh,
animal
okay.
as their name.
Animals as your name.
You got to
Okay.
just name me 5.
Wait, what are you looking at,
Buffalo?
Carlos? I feel like you're cheating.
I'm trying to think, bro.
You're looking down at the screen.
Hey, you guys are wasting time here. You only
no,
got
he's
one.
killing my
my problem.
You got 5
Ravens,
seconds.
Ravens, the Lions.
Okay. Okay,
Bears?
that's time, bro. I gave you way too much. Okay, you got 4.
Well, this one took my time.
Why are you lying, bro?
You got 4. So, Chris, do you have the answer, or you want to just give him the points?
I got 10 seconds.
Ready, set,
I
go.
already,
Okay.
I already gave him like
Eagles, Lions, Rams, Dolphins, and Bill. No. And dude, I got did I say Ravens? I did.
You
Bears.
got 2 seconds, Will. Okay, Chris got it. I'll give it to
Oh,
Chris.
I gave him the Bears too.
It did.
Because I want to
All
say
right, so that
Buffalo,
was that
but
one.
that's not the actual name. Oh,
I mean, the
Cardinals,
Bills. It's a
No, you
it's
said
a
no,
Buffalo.
you said
Cardinals.
Bills. You said
Yeah.
Bills.
All right.
Broncos.
So ready. Now this one is going to be a little bit different. There are 6 teams.
The Rams.
Okay, so you guys have to kind of give me these answers faster, so we can kind of to make it a little
I'm
bit more
trying.
intense.
I'm trying.
All
I'm
right.
trying.
It's harder
So
than it looks, Mike.
There's
Yeah, bro.
I know. When I was researching these, I was like, yeah, this is a little bit hard because I was trying
It's
to
cool.
time
I like
myself.
it though. I like it.
All right, so there's 6 teams, right, in the NFL with this. Give me the 6 teams with red, white, and blue in their logo.
Bills. Chris. Bills.
Uh-huh.
Patriots.
Okay.
Giants. I think that's red in it. Texans. Red, white, and blue. Red, white, and blue. I'm done, bro. I don't.
Time.
I got
All right, so
3.
Chris got 5
Oh,
on that one.
I got 5. Oh damn.
Yeah, you said Patriots.
How
I'm not going to tell you what you said because Chris will get it.
No, Carlos will get it.
Oh, no, you got 4. My bad. You got 4. You missed 2. That's what it was. There's 6 total, Carlos. So, ready?
6 total.
Dude, I just
Okay,
got it.
go.
Dang.
Go. Better not be
Buffalo.
Googling.
No.
Mhm.
I remembered one more. I don't know the last one.
You see, you're killing my time again.
I got you. I
got
got you. Go.
Buffalo, the Giants, the Texans, the Rams.
No.
Nope, Rams not one. Red, white, and blue.
Oh, they're yellow. Patriots.
That's the one.
I still have one more.
You're missing 2.
Oh, crappers.
All right, time. You guys.
The
tied.
Titans, right?
4 each. It's Titans, and then the other one is surprising, but it is the only other one is the Pittsburgh Steelers on their stars, or not their stars, but their thing is red, white, and blue.
Oh, dude, I wouldn't have thought of that last one.
No,
Yeah.
Steelers have yellow.
Yeah, but they have red, white, and blue.
Yeah, they have in the
With-
stars.
and-
In the stars.
And yellow. You said only red, white, and blue.
No, I said with red, white, and blue. There's only 6
Oh.
teams.
I wouldn't
All right.
have guessed the Steelers.
So-
That would have been the one I failed
You
at.
guys tied that one, so I'm not giving anybody a point right now. You guys are still tied 5-5.
Okay.
All right, and then here's the other one. Name the 4 teams with human faces in their logos. Go.
What?
Human faces.
With human faces in their
Okay.
logos.
Okay. I'll Chris.
Carlos.
Okay.
Patriots.
He said his name first. Okay.
Vikings.
Okay. Don't be
no,
looking at
no,
your
I
screen,
don't-
dog. You're
I
looking
don't-
at the logos.
You didn't chose me.
You didn't chose me.
You got 5 seconds.
That's it. That's the only ones I got. Damn. Not bad.
Okay. Carlos? You got 10 seconds, dog.
Raiders.
Oh my goodness.
The Bucks.
Isn't the Bucks a skull?
It's a pirate.
Patriots.
Mm-hmm. Dude, he
How many
named the
more?
other two. He named the other one already. You just got to base off what he said.
Oh, the Vikings.
Yeah, there you go. Carlos.
I
Got it.
thought the Bucks was a skull.
okay.
No, it's like a
Just like
pirate.
the Raiders.
It's a space though. It's a space on it. So the Raiders. All
Just
right.
like the Raiders skull.
So this is the winning one right here. Chris is losing by 5. So technically you guys would tie, but I do have that 6th one, so we can use that one. All right. Don't be looking at your screen, Chris. I need you to look straight ahead at me.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
There you go. Because I don't know. Your eyes are a little too wandery. All right. And name the 4 NFL teams with black helmets on. With black helmets. Sorry. With black helmets. 4 NFL teams with black helmets. There's only 4. And go. Somebody.
Black helmets. Carlos?
Nobody? Okay, go. Carlos, what's up?
Oh, the Raiders.
Yeah. Oh, I got the other ones.
The Panthers.
No.
The Ravens.
Yeah, that's the
Okay.
other one I had.
And the Steelers.
Hey, there's one more.
Oh, one more?
There's 4 total, Carlos. You only named 3. And
Falcons.
time.
Nah, you said time.
I said
You already,
Falcons.
you already named them, though.
No, I haven't said Falcons.
He didn't.
So who did you say?
I said the Raiders, the Steelers.
The Raiders is wrong,
Falcons.
though.
The Raiders is gray
They're black.
The Raiders is
They're
silver.
or silver, whatever.
black and silver. They have
The
black
helmet
helmets
is
too, though.
silver. The logo is... the helmet
Well, you
is silver.
said yeah. I said Raiders. You were like yeah. I
No,
said that
I was
one
saying
first.
because I was jotting them down.
Oh well, you should have said no.
Oh,
I thought it was
I'll give you
good.
I'll give you the Falcons one, but you only got 3. There's still 1 missing. Chris, you
Oh.
want to take a jab at it?
No.
If you get all 4, you tie the game.
Oh, okay. Well, he gave me most of them already.
Yeah, he gave you 3.
You
There's
still gotta
one
name
missing.
them.
Okay.
Yeah, you still got to name
No.
them.
You still gotta name them.
Yeah, you still got to name them.
Time go.
Okay. Damn it. It's
I
over.
knew
It's
it.
over.
I
I
got
wasn't.
him.
I wasn't.
I got him. I got him.
Nah, it's over. Nah. Yeah, he got it.
Okay, so Carlos wins. Do you want to know? Do you want to know what the 4th one was,
Yeah, go
Carlos?
for it.
It was the Jags.
No, let me guess.
Oh, too late.
Oh,
It was the Jags. The
Wait,
Jags
but I
were
have a
black.
question
They
though.
have black.
Is it like their
Mhm.
official black helmet, or if it's like an alternate that came up a year?
No, it's
I
their
know,
their
bro.
every
That's
game
what I
helmet.
thought.
Oh, okay. Because the Eagles have
Yeah.
a black one too.
Yeah, but their every game helmet is green,
Yeah, I know.
like the
but
Eagles. In that case, do you guys want to try one more just for the
Yeah, for fun?
the heck of
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
All right, so this was the 6th question. There's only 4 teams in the NFL with a star in the logo.
I thought we did that one already.
No, with a star.
Carlos.
Okay.
Cowboys.
Yep. Oh, you want me to tell you if you're correct or just wait till the end?
Yeah, you're gonna say
Okay.
yeah. The Saints.
You guys can teamwork on this one because Carlos already
Texans.
You're kidding my time.
won. Okay.
The Texans.
Steelers.
The Saints.
Steelers is not considered a star, unfortunately.
What?
I would give it to you if that would be considered 5,
No,
but
not
the
the
NFL website
Saints.
only says there's 4, and they are not considered one.
Oh, the Patriots.
Yep.
Where?
On the helmet,
think
on
they-
their head.
Oh, I thought you said in their logo.
I mean, that's part of their logo, though.
Oh, I need to look at their logo because
I'm still thinking.
The last one?
Yeah, hold on.
don't say it. Don't say it.
The star. The star.
Well, you're looking at the logos.
I
Chris.
know, but this one doesn't count as points. I just really want to know. No clue, bro. No clue.
Damn.
Okay,
Hold
the
on,
last
hold
one.
on.
The last one.
Wait.
We're taking too long on this. The last one is the
Patriots.
Tennessee Titans have a star.
Where?
Have stars on next to the T on the logo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. It's like the T
Yeah.
and then like
the
little
Steelers
stars.
one isn't. Yeah, the T isn't. The Steelers aren't considered a star, which I was
So what the-
flabbergasted
what the-
on that one too.
So what the hell is it?
I don't know. Steel, shine, sparks. I don't know.
Yeah,
Who knows?
something for Detroit.
But yeah, that's our game for this week. Thanks for
Grace.
joining us. I hope you guys had fun and you guys had a great time listening to us. Thanks for all the likes and shares and comments and stuff. We will continue to post social media content on the regular, like we did this week. We did get a lot of good comments on our TikToks and our YouTube Shorts. Oh, yeah, we're posting them on YouTube Shorts as well. YouTube videos usually drop on Friday, midday, depending on when everything uploads. Episodes usually drop on Thursday, so you'll be listening to this on Thursday morning, so I hope you have a happy Thursday morning. Boys, it was fun today. Don't forget, we have our big game this weekend. 49ers-Packers, that's my game of the week. I think that'll be a fun game to watch. You have
Bills and
a lot of
KC.
number one draft picks playing, or number one first-round QBs playing this week, except for one person, and his name is Brock Purdy. He was the number 7th round.
Mr.
All the other
Relevant.
QBs are number one round. So it'll be a fun weekend in the divisional. Bill Belichick looking for a spot to land in. Obviously, we know that already. Nick Saban retiring, huge. Jason Kelsey retiring, huge. A lot of other stuff. Peace out, guys. We love you guys.